right.
A lot of pain.
What is this, a funeral for Billy Wagner?
You know what?
Dark suits.
I never thought I'd see the day I'm actually pining for Billy Wagner.
Yeah, well, you're right to do that. Daily News Live presented by City. Beningo Connor, Adam Rubin is here, and this guy right here, Chris Russo, our special guest on the panel today. We'll talk about all kinds of things, baseball, football, and his new situation, which we will get into in a second. Let's start off with the Mets, though. A situation with Billy Wagner. They told us he would be reevaluated. He was earlier today. And Adam, it really isn't such good news for the Mets.
You know, both Billy and Omar just spoke. I listened to it. The MRI can't even get a clean picture because there's more swelling now than the original MRI when he had the forearm problem. And they said that's not good because he hasn't been overly active the last couple of weeks.
It's bad news for the Mets in this situation because, you know, they have some options, but none of them are really very good.
What's the option? The only option I see is John Maine to the bullpen. And, you know, you're telling me that Dan Warden said that's not going to happen, right?
Dan in Pittsburgh yesterday already has him penciled in for his next two starts. The second one will be on extra rest. And frankly, Maine has his own problems right now. His velocity is going to sit around 89 to 91 the rest of the year.
He's still coming back from injury. I mean, what do you do in this situation?
Can I talk about this? It's an Oregon football thing.
You got to go local to national. We're going to talk about that. That's going to be a big step. But let's keep it here national or locally.
That's, you know, that's the one advantage that the Phillies have over the Mets is that Lidge, you figure in September, won't blow that game.
He's a lock.
That could kill. Well, I don't. You know, he's not as good as he's not as good as he was, but still, he's dangerous. While Wagner could blow one, or somebody if he can't pitch, that game or two can determine the division. That's going right down the wire. That could be an interesting aspect.
Let's hear from Billy Wagner right now. This is him this morning after again being reevaluated. All right, Omar's going to join us here in a little bit, but that's the big concern, Adam, the fact that he's talking about ligaments and tendons. He's talking about a blowout. If it's 1 or 2 weeks, I think Mets fans can live with that on pins and needles every time you go to the pen. But if we're getting into late September, that's a huge issue altogether, much bigger.
Yeah, I mean, the question there was, could he take a cortisone shot to kind of mask the pain? And what he said was that if he takes a cortisone shot, he's liable to do something that he doesn't know he's doing it because the pain is being masked, so he's not going to do that. This really caught the Mets off guard because they brought him to Pittsburgh on Saturday, had him throw the simulated game there. Jerry, right after that, said he felt good. He thought he was going to be activated Monday. Borelli actually to the reporter said, no, I'm feeling stiff. That's when they kind of all held together.
Omar's going to join us, as I said, in a bit to talk further about
2 weeks?
this.
I don't know if that, you know what, you say piece it together for 2 weeks. I don't know, Adam. I mean,
you can still piece it together for 2 weeks. You still could.
You could,
That's not a disaster.
Shaky.
That's not a disaster. 2 months is a disaster.
I mean, they did get through this last week. I know it was the Pirates and the Nationals, but they got through the week 6-1 with the bullpen the way it is. So the best case scenario is just kind of piece it together. Heilman, whatever, with Ayala there, they'll be able to go a little bit deeper.
And the Braves are terrible. They play them. Giants just beat them 3 out of 4. So the Braves are in good trouble.
You know that.
After that.
You know they do.
And the Astros after that. Who are pesky? I mean, I think the Mets will be all right.
3 in Houston.
We'll see what happens this week. Hey, the Giants got off to a great start. Well, they have all summer long, really, and yesterday was fantastic in that game last night. No problems at all. First teamers, both offense and defense. Chris, this defense lost some in terms of numbers, yes, but important people. When you talk about Strahan, you talk about Kavika Mitchell, the year he had last year. Do you think this defense has a chance to be better this year than they were last year?
Giants are going to be a good team. I don't think they're going to be 12-4 NFC Championship good, but the Giants are going to be a good team. I had a problem with Strahan there last night. First game back at the Meadowlands, he's got to be out there in a T-shirt, first exhibition game.
Well, he was there. Who was there? Harry Carson was there with him. They had some of the all-time greats there.
They had some of the
all-time greats.
Can you wait till the middle of the season, for God's sake?
Can't be Adam upset. With Strahan for that.
No, because it's his first. It's almost like he wanted that cheap applause.
Like he wanted to show everybody up.
I'm back. You know, I want my. It bothered me. It probably didn't bother you guys. It bothered me. But the Giants are going to be a good football team. And I tell you, you know, Manning looks good. They got some offense. They're going to be a very good team.
I completely agree with Chris, and I think the defense is going to be very good. I mean, remember, Strahan's gone. They got Kiwanuka back. He was out for half the season last year. You know what kind of pass rusher he is.
Yeah.
Osi's still there. Tuck is still there. Fred Robbins is still there. And I think the secondary is going to be much improved. Another year from Webster, another year from Ross, and I think Kenny Phillips is going to be a big player for them.
Watch the linebackers. Kiwanuka coming back from injury. Wilkinson coming back from injury as well. They're going to rely on those two guys, and we'll see how they assimilate in there with Pierce. All right, now you are here with us because you signed a big deal with SiriusXM this morning. Everybody had speculated about it. It goes down. It's a 5-year deal. You're going to have your own channel, Mad Dog Radio. That's got to be pretty sickening right there.
That's right, a lot of Mad Dog Radio. That's the reason why I did it, because at this point in my life, to get offered a channel, program it the way I want to program it, hire anybody I want to hire, and, you know, within reason, and make this a #1 sports channel in America. I mean, that to me was a challenge I had to take.
Do you worry at all? I mean, you were such in the mainstream, bro, for so long. I mean, all these years, 20 years, 19 years, whatever it was, you're in the mainstream. Now you're going to Sirius. It's almost like you're going to kind of be out of the loop now, though, because you're going there.
I can see people thinking that way, but, listen, I think that with 18 million subscribers, talking about an outfit, with Mel's a winner, Stern's a winner. I just have the merger, I got baseball, I got the NFL. I'll give you a perfect example. Game 1 playoffs in October. Cubs are going to be the national story. More than the Mets, they're going to be the national story.
No
Cubs,
doubt, no question.
Guarantee it that Tuesday night Game 1. I'll do that show in Wrigley Field.
Nice.
Now, there's an example that I can't do necessarily, but that's the New York team. Game 1 World Series, American League Park, Tuesday night. Don't forget, it's not on weekends anymore. I guarantee you'll probably see me at that American League Park. So I thought those kind of opportunities, carte blanche, do what I want, I thought I had to take.
Wimbledon, too, right? I mean, you're going to be going
to
Wimbledon, that kind of thing.
And I have the rights to Wimbledon. I know you love that. And the rights to the Masters.
What's better than that?
And the rights to the Masters.
All right, now with that said, how much of a challenge is this going to be for you to go from local to national? Because it's more work than people really
Absolutely
think,
is.
even locally, to be able to know what's going on in every sport and every team. Now you got to do it nationally, and you also, you're very local oriented. You're from here. Your roots are here. You've been here for 20 years. You've got the New York accent.
Right.
How do you translate that nationally?
Well, I think the first thing I have to try to do every day is find myself a topic that will play in Fayetteville and play in Seattle. Tiger, Rocco Median. That plays in both places. Yankees don't make the playoffs. That will play in both places. Giants, Pats, of course, will play in both places. Michael Phelps will play in both places. Even to a large degree, the Federer and Nadal could play in both for a while, could play in both places. So I have to find it every day. You're right, though. Joe knows, there's 3 or 4 sports that I'm probably a little shaky in. Baseball, no problem. NFL, no problem. But college football, what's Fresno State up to? Who knows?
Playing Rutgers week 1.
I don't even know that. You want to put
you're all over that game. Fresno State Rutgers.
I set them up. That's
kidding?
one.
Right.
NHL. I know who's centering the Vancouver Canucks #1 line.
Do you have to know that?
How about that? How about the hockey?
Yeah, but let's say even nationwide, hockey is not going to be that big of a deal. You're still going to be playing the hits, and the hits of the NFL, it's Major League Baseball, it's the NBA.
Right, no question about it. And I think that I will be lucky in the fall because I have Monday and Friday. And Monday is always football. Friday is always football.
Right. That is true.
And listen, Georgia, LSU, I don't spend that much time on it in New York. On Sirius, XM, I got to spend some time on it. So there'll be some adjustments. Let's see if I can pull it off.
All right, Chris is going to be with us for the rest of the show. Much more on his situation, signing a new deal with Sirius and XM in a little bit, but straight ahead on...
I'm bringing him up.
Omar, good to talk to you again. 6-game winning streak, bad loss yesterday. Now, we've seen the Mets be up and down in these last 2 years. Do you expect this ball club to regain its equilibrium and have a big September, even with this bullpen being in shambles?
Well, we've been an inconsistent team, Chris, and I hear you're making a big-time move. Am I correct?
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Huh?
Yes, I am, Omar. I'm going to miss you. I guarantee I'm going to miss you.
Well, I didn't know if I was listening to this Cyrus Radio.
Serious, Omar, serious.
Serious, whatever, But anyway, I wish you the best in what you're doing, Chris, and you guys did a great job there for many years and kept us all fans well entertained. But as far as the team, we've been inconsistent all year, and I don't know what we're going to do. I will tell you that we are playing good ball. We are playing as a team, and some of our young guys are really giving us some energy. Guys like Murphy, like Evans, and even we have some other young guys in the minor leagues that we may have to bring up here in September. And it's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be a fun pennant race and a fun September.
Omar, we appreciate it, man. We'll talk with you down the road, all right?
All right, guys. Take care.
Omar Lanai, and again, the news on Billy Wagner, not so good. He's going to need continuous rest. We don't know when he'll be back. Don't forget, much more on the Mets on SNY.TV and on Wagner's situation, so check it out. Up next, lots of folks wondering what really happened over at the Fan. With the Mike and the Mad Dog show, we go behind the scenes with the man himself. Chris Russo is here when DNL continues. We'll get the lowdown. And Brett Favre met the media today after playing in his... Why do you have to go back to the well and bring in this guy who's a criminal?
Fair point. I'm down on Dallas. The Pac-Man Jones thing bothered the heck out of me. Did he woo yet, by the way? And
Not yet.
I'll be annoyed if he gets the... He's going to play.
He'll play.
I can't root for Dallas. Dallas is a tough team to root for. But Cincinnati is a good pick. You can say least favorite easy with the Bengals.
And I love the Olympics, but I just can't get behind certain sports. The trampoline or the 20K race walk. Did you see any of the 20-kilometer race walk?
I was too busy watching women's handball, which I didn't know that was handball. Did you know what that was handball?
Well, they got Phelps swimming tonight, right? I mean, how much Michael Phelps can I see? My goodness.
I don't know like the sports like tennis, you know, even cycling. The sport,
sports should not
if
be
it's
there.
not the most important event of the year,
it should not be in the Olympics.
Shouldn't even be there.
That's the point.
No baseball after this year, too.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing.
I showed out last
China,
night.
United States.
And the guy hits the home run at 9-0 in the ninth inning. He runs around the bases like he's Bobby Thompson.
A suburban Chicago wedding reception turned ugly when police officers from 14 different departments sang "Happy Birthday, Ronnie." He turns 48 years of age today. You wouldn't know it. He's a day over 38. The guy looks fantastic. Great guy. Worst wingman on earth though because he's perfect. Everything you say, he's got something much better.